And welcome to another episode, the number 30. Another milestone, 30 tonight. So I want to thank all our viewers for joining us tonight. In the house, we have Dr. Laura. Welcome. And I am super excited because I get to share the stage with Andrea Sanchez. And it is an honor and a privilege for you to be here, Andrea. If you don't know this woman, you definitely should. You should, in the show notes is her LinkedIn profile. You should be definitely scoping this woman out. And if you have not heard of the big things that she has in store, stay tuned. Um, Andrea, I'm so excited to have you here. And it's been a blessing to know you. And um, well, I don't want to, I know you're going to get into some of the things you do, so I don't want to spoil it. So welcome to the show and share a little bit about your overcoming story with us tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. You're so sweet and what a beautiful opening. I must apologize. I have three dogs in case they want to chime in and say some comments too today. You might hear them. But it's so awesome to be here. I'm very passionate, as you know, Dorothy, and like you, about just giving people the opportunity to share who they are in a safe and courageous place where they feel like they can thrive and own who they're supposed to be. So I have this fascination, and I believe it's my purpose, and I believe you're on the same purpose, is to help others, or to at least to shine the light so they find the light to finally have the courage to be who they are. And I do that through various platforms. I have a show. Hi, Laura. I have a Twitter chat that I've been doing for the past 7 years called Dare to Be, and I have an awesome community there. But I also recently started about a year ago this online rally for hope and kindness called Worthy. It takes place the last Saturday of each month. And I have 5 or 6 storytellers. Dorothy was one of them in the past, where you just share your story for 7 minutes, share your story of being courageous, of defying the odds, of just owning your truth. And I can't tell you, I've never imagined how it would grow to what it has become. So many people later have thanked our speakers, have thanked me. Where do you find these people? I can't believe I don't feel so alone now because they go exactly the same thing that I've been through. So it's such an honor to have speakers like you, Dorothy, join into these rallies every month.
Thank you so much. And yes, that's what the part that I didn't want to spoil. I did have the pleasure of sharing my story on, I forget what month it was, but it was so amazing because it was so heartfelt. Like everybody on there had an amazing story, and it was just, and we stayed in touch afterwards as well, and the audience that was there, and it was magical. So if you have never had the privilege of being part of one of these rallies, I believe you have one coming up this weekend, right?
I do, yes.
And
Yes.
registration is free. So if you are available this Saturday, there should be no reason why you should not be on this rally, because I'm telling you, they are amazing and the speakers are phenomenal. Each month it gets better and better and better. And I'm not just saying that because I've been on there. It truly is. Hey, Tim, thanks
Hey,
for coming
Tim.
on. Woo-hoo. See, and Tim even connected with other people.
Nice.
So that's awesome. And savor the flavor. We have Mr. Kenny Dunner in the
Hi,
house.
Kenny.
Oh yes, I gotta get on Clubhouse.
Laura.
Are you on Clubhouse, Andrea?
I am. I admit I don't use it as much as I should, but I am. There's some fabulous groups there and some awesome people. So
Yeah,
definitely.
that's one thing. I have connected with Dr. Laura too, and actually she'll be on the show next month as well. But I have to get on Clubhouse.
You definitely should.
That's one social media aspect I haven't been on. I'm like, okay. So yes, I have the show and I have people on the show, but I'm going to admit I'm not the most tech savvy person in the world. So, and I just got the new iPhone because it wouldn't work on the Clubhouse wouldn't work on my 12 that I had, or the 10 that I had. Now I upgraded to 12. So, yeah, my woes.
You're not. Wait a minute. You're not tech savvy, but you're using StreamYard. Okay.
Streamyard's easy. StreamYard's easy. Anybody could do that. Hey Russ, good to have you
Hey,
on here.
Russ.
So yes, I believe in the comments I had put what time traveling? What time on Saturday?
Oh, Saturday is it's always the last Saturday of the month from 10 a.m. Central to noon Central.
There we go.
So join us as little or as much as you want.
That's right. And
Yes,
like,
she is Tim. I agree. She is tech savvy.
whatever. Thank you both. I didn't need an ego stroking, but I did need a little bit of encouragement today. What is going a long way, let me tell you. Thank you both. So, what do you do in besides your worthy rallies and things like that, Andrea? What other passions do you have?
That's a great question because I often ask myself the same thing. By day, I'm a full-time communications professional. I work in internal communications for a clean energy company. In fact, that's all my background is in communications and social media and change management and videos and all that stuff. It's a lot of fun. I do internal communications, especially relating to employee engagement and the people side of change. So it's always relating back to humans and being heart-centered. There's this nudge, there's this that always pushes me more because I always am fascinated about just why people think the way they do and why they act the way they do and what perhaps gets in the way of them shining who they're really supposed to be. And a lot of things go into play, which if my background and other people's backgrounds, which I've heard in the rallies, sometimes there's unfortunate situations. Sometimes there's a condition that you're born with that you have been told all your life that perhaps you're broken, but in fact you're not. You need to embrace it. It's just a matter of the environment and the people that you surround yourself with and the permission that you give yourself to be you without judgment. So I've dabbled in lots of groups and nonprofits and volunteered. And I'm like, you know what? It's time to do something on my own. And what really prompted me was in the June 2020 when that awful summer of just a lot of racial unrest and discrimination and all of these everything going on in the United States amidst COVID. I'm like, I feel like I need to do something. So that's when I started. I woke up from a dream telling me I had to do some sort of event. And then that's the event that I did, the Hope and Rally. It was just going to be a one-time thing for that because of everything going on. And then it continued on. Ever since then, I thought, okay, I feel like this is the beginning to something bigger. I don't know what that is, but I trusted myself and my calling when I got that nudge in my dream back in June 2020. So I'm going to continue to trust my nudges and see where life takes me, see what people come my way, like you, like lots of people that are listening right now, and see where it takes me. All I know is that I'm on a mission to help ignite others and to live who they're truly supposed to live. It's not about me, I've learned so far, it's about them. I may not know what my purpose is, but that's okay because maybe just existing is my purpose because I'm able to create these communities where people are able to find themselves and not feel so alone. So that's where I'm at.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot impacted in that. Oh wow. And like you said, just to help other people, I think is well, we talked about this a little bit before the show. To help people and to help people get their stories out there is why we do this. And I think great things are coming of this. I mean, it's just the beginning. I think for both of us getting
Yeah.
this out there, and there's more people have joined us here. Welcome, Gabe.
Hey, Gabe.
If you haven't checked out Gabe's show, you got to check out Gabe's show too. It's
Yes, he's awesome.
yes. Laura is hosting a room tonight at 10. Promote worthy. It said that she would like you to promote the worthy rallies on that. If you're free.
That's really nice. Thank you, Laura.
And welcome, Melody.
Hi,
from
Melody.
Massachusetts.
Melody's
Welcome.
awesome.
What's up? All right. And then Laura had a question. The why. What's your why? Who hears you?
Who hears you? I have never seen why broken down that way. That's pretty cool. Who hears you? Great question. I'm not sure who hears me. I know that there's someone that needs to hear me. I have this deep, I don't know, something nudging at me again that say, Andrea, it's time for you to share your voice. Andrea, it's time for you to write this. It's time for you to get this out. It's time for you to tell your story. I don't know who needs to hear it, but something is definitely pushing me to say certain words. And if I'm being honest, sometimes I don't know what I'm going to say. If I decide to be brave one day and go on video, that's not my forte. But if I decide to be brave, I just talk, and whatever flows from my heart are the words that are meant to go out there that day. And it's crazy, but you just gotta trust. Who's my why? I don't know. I may never know, but I know that I trust in my journey that there's someone out there that needs to hear at least one of the words or something that's coming out of my mouth that maybe ignites them to think differently, or gives them hope for something, or maybe passes it on to others. So I don't know who my why is, but sometimes that's what's so cool about it.
I love what you said there. There's two things. You never know what you're going to say. Honest to God,
No.
95% of anything I say either on here or when I'm speaking with other people, it just automatically comes out.
See?
And I will admit, before every show, I do pray over the show and just ask God to give me the wisdom and the
Exactly.
words, because it's not about me, it's about Him and sharing what needs to be shared for other people.
Right.
And it's funny that you said that, because honestly, I don't have any set question. I ask for your biography and I ask, what topic you would like to talk about, but I do not ever set up questions for my show. And I told this to Jairus last week. I said, Jairus, around 30 minutes, it's going to feel like there's nothing to talk about. And then after 30 minutes, it's like it flies to the end. And it was true. It was it kind of was going like into a lull, and then it picks up and he goes, oh my God, Dorothy. He goes, you were right. Exactly what happened. I said, it happens every show. And I always and I don't sweat about it, because I thought, okay, if this is the end, then this is the end. People got what they needed out of it.
Yep.
And I always say, if I can affect one person per episode, that is my job.
There you go. And you do.
And I love that you said that. And Russ wants to connect with you.
Yes.
Russ has another amazing show as well. So you definitely two need to connect.
Definitely.
Oh, thanks, Laura. She wanted to know, okay, who is... She's just full of questions tonight. I love this. Your creativity and passion to help others, serve others, and lift up. It makes you special. I believe your why is ever developing. I agree.
That's sweet. Thank you, Katie. That means a lot.
Okay, who is your ideal client? Laura wants to know.
Who is my ideal client?
Yeah.
She is full of great questions. Ideal client, really, I'm looking for people that are not, perhaps are too much in their own way. They get in their own way. My ideal client is someone that just needs an extra push. They feel like there's something in there. They feel like they're meant to do something. They feel like they're living for a specific reason or purpose, but don't know exactly why, or perhaps don't have the courage to tell anyone about it, or don't have the courage to come out and admit that they can truly affect the world. And sometimes you don't realize you're that person until you go in and come into these communities where you hear others admit their truths, own their truths, be proud of their truths, not mention that they're broken because of it, but it's empowered them to be who they are. They've gone through their experiences for a reason. And sometimes we don't want to admit that. But if I hadn't gone through everything that I had gone through, I would never have as much empathy that I would for another human. So my ideal person is anyone that is on that cusp of wondering, what else can I really affect change? And my answer is yes.
I love that. I absolutely love that. Because even in the, so we say, shitty parts of life, um, and for me lately, there has been a lot of shitty parts.
Yes.
Even in the losing my dad, I had to reframe everything. And I'm like, why did I just lose my best friend? And what was the purpose of losing my best friend? And my purpose was I had to share what I was going through to help somebody else.
That's right.
And I wrote a blog about it, and it was raw.
It was
uh,
amazing.
and I mean, I left some stuff out because I thought this is just raw as it was, and I thought people might get turned off on it. And but in sharing that, I believed it did help somebody, and out of that, a group was formed, a support group for either cancer patients or family members of cancer patients or people who has family who's lost the battle or still going through the battle. So all
That's
that to be
amazing.
said, well, thanks. Um, I formed it and then I thought, oh gosh, because I want to help everybody in all aspects. And when you go through something, it feels, and other people are going through it with you, it feels like a family and a community. No
That's
matter
right.
how shitty it is, it feels like you're all together. And like you said, when you believe that you've gone through what you have gone through to open your voice and to help others, I totally 100% agree with all of that. So your niche. Laura wants to know what your niche is. She's full of questions tonight.
This is great because these are the questions I ask myself every day. Try to narrow it down because I'm like, I want to help the world. But yeah, you have to have a niche. That's right. Um, that's a great question. I have a hard time figuring out a niche. Um, because I truly, truly am open to helping anyone and everyone that needs help, or basically safe spaces. Right now, what I'm seeing as part of my journey is being the medium, the facilitator to bring people together to a certain group or community, and then sit back and let them do their magic, which is basically what I do in these rallies. I'm mainly the facilitator, but the magic happens when all these souls come together and this magic of feeling safe and kind, and everyone's showing kindness and vulnerability and showing their true humanness. That's my niche my niche are people that are willing to admit their humanness, people that are vulnerable, that are willing to go to be courageous and ready to be vulnerable. Some people that I respect, I have approached and are not ready to tell their story. And I get it. I've been one of those people. But in listening to others, I feel like every month they have a little bit more and more courage, maybe not to tell their story, but to invite someone else or to do something else that they wouldn't have done maybe a month ago. To believe that little bit more in themselves. So I don't know, that's a great question. I ask myself that every day, but that's where I'm at.
Wow, I'm just going through. That is awesome, and I'm just going through. Laura is on fire. Thanks, Laura.
Your smile is getting all sorts of awards today.
Yes. Be transparent and say you don't know. I love that. Exactly. Well, and I get, my coach asked me, well, what's your niche? Who do you want to affect? I'm like, the world, because then the world needs to be overcome their shit. And we all need to overcome our shit. And we all need to laugh. And we all need to have fun. And I figured I want to help the world. I don't want to just help women age 40 to 50, that are in the middle of their midlife crisis
Yeah.
and have screaming kids and, an amazing husband and a job that they taken away from, I want to help everybody. But yeah, I get it. Niche down and it's better.
Yeah. But well, and also sometimes you just don't know what your niche is because as we mentioned before, you may be impacting someone that you will never know. You will not know if they're male, female, their demographic, where they're from, background, experience. Who knows? So that's hard. That's a hard one.
Well, and we don't want to leave anybody out because we
Mhm.
also, we were girls one time, so we want to help those teenagers. Okay, so my story is helping them overcome being bullied and having low self-esteem. So I want to help those teenagers too. I just don't want to help the older women like myself because you don't want those teenagers to turn into old bitter women.
Right. Right. Right.
Not that I'm saying we're old bitter. We're not. But I'm just
Not at
saying,
all.
it's you know what I'm saying.
Yes.
Fireworks. Show them what you're worth. Totally. That's right.
Yes, Laura. Agree.
Floodgates after 30 minutes.
Both levels occur.
Yeah, both will
Oh,
occur.
yeah. Thanks, Melody. You as well, and Peter Clark. Absolutely. Do you know you know Peter, right, Dorothy?
I don't know Peter.
Oh my gosh, I need to introduce you to Peter. He's amazing. He's a beacon of light.
Perfect. I love meeting new people. Be a light to the short for those who are trying to find their way home. Yes.
Oh, I like that. That's nice.
Shore. Be the shore.
I like that too.
I like that too. I like them both, Laura. Thank you. Yes, Gabe and Andrea need to chat.
It's been a while, Gabe.
And Gabe, you and I need to chat. We haven't officially chatted yet. You need to get. You said your calendar thing hooked up. I want to talk to that guy.
I must get you in my club. Oh.
The Clubhouse Club.
Oh, the clubhouse. Yeah.
Yes. Oh, thank you.
Yes, agree.
Costa Rica is in the house.
Hello.
Great to have you here. So, yes, it is difficult.
I'm so sorry.
I'm sorry to hear that, Laura. Yeah. Unfortunately, we didn't have time to put my dad in hospice. He went too quick, and so he passed away at home. But I will say, you go into different stages, and I think I'm still in the numb stage. I haven't quite got out of my numb stage. But yeah. See, even Melanie thinks you're a
Thanks, Melanie. Thank you. Yeah. It's hard. It's hard. The niche thing is hard.
Exactly. I connected everybody. That's what we do. I think we're all one connection away from huge major things happening.
Oh, I love that. Don't have to be the star.
The star, yes. Ray. He's a brilliance. I love that. Yes. Willing to admit the brilliance. Freaking bomb. I love Laura. Laura is just blowing this up. I love that. Hey, Carl. And if you don't know Carl, Carl's amazing too. Hook up with Carl. He's got some new things going on too. Carl was my very first LinkedIn Live.
Oh, he was?
And he was my fourth on coming onto my show. So, yes, definitely connect with Carl.
Nice. I quoted your book. Yeah, he was. What did I quote?
What was the book? Helping them make that. Yes, exactly. Actually, I read a sign somewhere in Port Huron, and that's in Michigan, on the other side of the border from Sarnia. I'm a Canadian, so the sign had said something, I'm paraphrasing, something because it's been a while since I've been there, with the border closed and all that. It said something to the fact that take care of children while they're younger, because if not, they'll become screwed adults. Paraphrasing, of course. And that has always stuck with me because it's true. Like if you do not nurture the children as they're young, that there becomes big problems when they're older. And from past experience and some guys that I have dated, it's totally true because they never took care of their childhood, and that comes into in an adulthood, and then they can't be in a committed relationship because of other issues that they've had. That stands for women too. I'm not just saying men. That's for everybody. But if you don't take care of your issues when you're younger, then they're going to definitely go into your older years.
Yeah, completely agree. And then you grow up with a hurt or wounded inner child that you feel has been neglected, and you have to kind of parent it yourself. So yeah, completely agree.
Oh, is that the book?
Oh, very nice. I like that.
Yeah. Yes. If people think that they matter or know that they matter, then that is very important.
The
Bomb,
bomb.
you dropped the
Drop the
bomb on
bomb
me,
on
baby.
me.
You dropped the bomb on me.
Cool.
Oh gosh. Agree. Those stages are critical. Absolutely. Speaking of like, oh,
Oh,
okay. Yes. A.
nice.
And did you
I
not see the
see.
sweatshirt? Oh, hold on. I gotta get rid of it. It says Canada on it. Oops, wrong. There we go.
Oh, it sure does.
It
Nice.
was my dad's sweater. I kind of stole it after he
Aw,
passed away. So
that's
I wear it every day. I have washed it.
that's
but,
sweet.
but yeah, these wears me wherever I go.
That's great.
Oh, that's so many great. I thank you for everybody in on watching tonight. Such great comments here in.
Yeah,
It's kind of taken me like, what was I going to say? I don't remember.
just let it flow.
Just let yes.
The shadow work to heal from it. Yeah, Melody,
Yeah.
completely agree.
Totally.
Cover your rosebuds.
Love that. Such great stuff coming out of here. Wow. Now, are you still a part of Humans First?
Yeah, I'm still part of Humans First, although I must admit I haven't been able to attend in a while. But if it wasn't for Humans First, really, I wouldn't be here. Humans First is what catapulted me meeting everyone else and eventually meeting you. It was because one person, his name's Kevin Monroe. I don't know if you know him, but we met at a writers conference, out of all things, in Tennessee. We both don't live there, and it was my first time there. And he happened to be sitting. We were actually at a buffet line we were both attendees. And the typical introvert me, I was not, trying to look busy in a buffet line because I didn't know anybody. And he was in front of me and he started conversation. I'm like, okay, great, all right, we're doing this. And so he started speaking, and then he started talking about Humans First. And after we finished that, I noticed that he came and sat with me at the same table. And since then, we didn't stop talking. And I attended my first Humans First meeting after that conference. And ever since then, I met people upon people upon people. One of those people was, oh my God, I just forgot his last name, but Gabe knows who he is. Adam. He does fabulous shows online, and I was a guest on his show, and Gabe happened to be a guest on that same show, and that's where I met Gabe. And Gabe introduced me to a whole lot of other people, who introduced me to a whole other people, and who introduced me to eventually to you. So if it wasn't for that Humans First interaction, I wouldn't be here. But Humans First is an amazing, amazing group of people that is just growing worldwide, and it's so inspirational. They have several events and meetups during the year, and I owe so much to that group and Mike Paconti, the founder.
That is amazing. I've been able to attend I think 2 of their Monday morning meetings, because I know with the time difference in the UK and here, and me being at work or at 7 a.m. my time, I'm actually on the road to work, so I can't always make it. But amazing group of people, like you said, and I haven't had the pleasure of talking to Mike yet, but I'm sure I will.
You should get him on the show. Yeah, he's amazing.
I should. Yes. Oh, thank you. I need to. I'm going to write that down.
You get Mike Baconti, Peter Clark.
I have Peter Clark's written down, but yes, I
You
am.
got Melody, who's watching. Melody's good.
I will talk to Melody.
Lots of people. God, lots of people.
Melody, are you available November 1st? If so, let me know.
Lots of so many inspiring people.
Yes.
But yeah, Adam Posner, that's his name, Adam Posner. He's also very cool. He does his own show as well.
Wow, awesome! Thank you. And that's what I liked about LinkedIn, because it's like one big family, and that is how that's actually how my journey started. I had saw this. I was looking for to be on people's podcasts to share my book, because I was just ready to do a book launch, and so I met this Karen who had Removing the Stone podcast or Stepping Stone podcast.
Oh.
I had never been on her podcast, but she connected me to Jen Zahari, who connected me to Michael Panorano, who then I bounced back. And Jen is like one of my best friends now, who introduced me to Dr. Christy, who is another one of my best friends now, who introduced me to like a whole other group of women.
It's crazy.
It's amazing how this LinkedIn actually works. And without that, I wouldn't have met Nancy Burrows, who connected me with Dr. Laura. So it's just, and everybody on here, you know. And
it's really cool. It really is. And it goes full circle, right? Because all these people, in the end, they all know each other. It's crazy. Exactly.
Okay, I missed some good comments here. Shadow work to heal. Yes, I agree. After I left my abusive relationship, I spent 6 years just trying to find myself and getting different healing works, different techniques, different things. So I totally get that. Carpe Diem. Seize the day. We're food for worms. Live your life now.
You definitely need to speak with Laura. I like her.
We're food for worms. I love that. Oh, please do yourself a favor. Don't come to Canada until after this pandemic's done and after Trudeau's out. Just don't do yourself a favor. We're still being whatever. I'm not going to turn this into a political thing. I will, Laura. I will. Well, Andrea's already on Clubhouse, so she'll have to look you up, and I'll have to get. Oh, are you working with human trafficking awareness?
Me?
Yeah.
That is not something specifically I'm working with, no. But I support anyone and everyone that is working for that cause and wants to raise awareness, whether in the Worthy Rally or whatever it may be. So, right. Great question.
That is a good question. I personally, I know people who have different groups that are, and I have to be careful on what I get into, because stuff like that enrages me. Because I find that sickening, so not to say that I wouldn't become part of somebody's group, but I personally don't lead one.
I've been on twice.
Perfect. I'll connect with you later, Melody. Woohoo! Yes, we all love Nancy. Nancy is amazing. Yes, totally amazing. Wow. One show and I am getting like, I don't know how many.
Tons of leads. That's awesome.
I know. This is
and me too. I'm getting some names of people I want on my rally here.
There we go. Yes. Totally. So Dare to Be. Twitter is not one thing that I've been on a whole lot. Now, tell us a little bit more about your Twitter show.
Yeah, so that's something else that I've just done for fun for the past 7 years. But I don't know if for those people not really on Twitter that much, what Twitter has is what's called Twitter chats. So there's Twitter chats that last about an hour, and it can happen anytime during the day on any topic that you can even think of, from cooking to leadership to motivation to anything, sports, anything you can think of. And I discovered Twitter. First, I didn't understand what it was, but I discovered Twitter in 2013 when I was living overseas in Baku, Azerbaijan. We got relocated there. It's like by Turkey and Iran. I didn't even know where that was. And my whole world literally just turned around. I was halfway across the world. I knew nobody. I didn't know the language. The culture was completely different. I was very restrictive in what I could do. I still kept my full-time job from the US, but I worked kind of like the nights because of the 11-hour difference. And so during the day, I took care of my then 2-year-old, but in order to continue my learning and continue my connection with people, I turned to social media. And one of those channels was Twitter. And in Twitter, I found what are these Twitter chats. And there was one, which I'm still a member of. It's People Skills Chat by Kate Nasser. She's also an amazing person to know. She just speaks about everything related to empathy, integrity, treating people like humans in the workplace. And I really got into that. And Twitter chats talk about, once they have a theme, like a Twitter chat may be called People Skills. Mine is called Dare to Be. There's another one called Soul Nesting. There's another one, again, whatever you're attracted to. And there's a name for them, but then there's different topics that, so mine, for example, one night the topic may be Dare to be a leader. Dare to be vulnerable, dare to be strong, dare to start over, dare to listen, or whatever it may be. And then you have 10 questions throughout the 1 hour where the host throws out a question every 5 minutes. And you use the hashtag dare to be when you throw out the question. And when people answer them, they answer it with the hashtag dare to be. And what you come up with is, if you look for the hashtag dare to be or hashtag people skills or hashtag whatever the chat is, you come up with a feed of questions and answers. And some of these have turned into quotes that I collect in my quote books because it's such great inspiration and motivational posts from people. In other things, it's other ways you gather information and just contacts from all around the world, just like LinkedIn. But in real time, you have a conversation. And what I've seen is this attracts people, especially introverts, because you don't have to be on camera. You don't have to hear your voice. And you just type in the safety of wherever you are. And it's kind of like a safe zone for lots of people and how they can express themselves. So I found that my Dare to Be is very similar to what I do with Worthy Rallies, is I provide a safe space, but in a different context, because some people prefer just typing, just a few words, which in Twitter you have a word length of the amount of words that you can type. And Worthy Rally is completely different. It's in person. It's more, you can heart to heart, like you can see the facial expressions. But the main thing for me is I keep doing it because I never know why I do things, but I keep doing it because I hear that it's made someone's day, or it made someone think differently, or for the first time, they never thought of answering that question and they had the chance to, and it really changed the way they think. So that's why I keep doing it. I've told myself maybe about 4 years ago that I would stop because it's every Tuesday night for 7 years, but I can't stop. I can't stop. This is my family now. It's my community. And if I ever miss a Tuesday night, I get messages like, "What happened, Andrea? I was looking forward to this." So it's crazy, but it's you just never know who you're going to affect. And what you were saying, Dorothy, before, of people, you don't know if people are listening to your show until someone says later on in the comments that you really made their day, or you saved their life. You never know that till later, and you may never know. And you have what people call lurkers, or people that don't really participate, but lurkers is a mean word because I do that also. Sometimes I just want to read. So passerbys. So maybe some people are just passing by and are just curious, but you never get to realize that they're passing by. But they may need right then and right now to hear that word that you typed, to listen to what you just said, and then you made a difference to that day, to that person, because you continued on by doing what you love to do. So that's a long answer to why I started Dare to Be.
But that's awesome.
Mhm.
And I love that. And I'm going to have to go find that on Tuesday night. I like I said, I'm just trying to get back onto Twitter. So I'm just trying to learn my way around that social media platform. So um, definitely something that I'm gonna have to get into. Um, so Melody's been on Humans First twice. Um, yes, would love to connect with you, both of us. Totally. I love all these new people on here tonight. This is awesome. Sounds like the Born the Way Foundation. Is it a nonprofit?
Dare to Be.
There, yeah, I think so.
Right now, no, not right now. It's more like a movement. It's more like a movement that I started on Twitter, and I it's expanded it on other social media platforms, but it's nothing really like a nonprofit, not yet. It's in the same family as the Worthy Rallies. The my passion project, I guess if you want to call it organization company, is called Spark Story, because I believe every story can spark someone's flame and make a difference. So you have Dare to Be under Spark Story, and you have Worthy under Spark Story. So there's something there. I just don't know where I'm going, but there's something there.
I like that. Spark Stories. Fan the Flame. I heard that.
Ooh, fan the flame.
Fan the Flame. I love that. There you
That's
go.
pretty cool.
You could use that. I'll let you use that.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that. So awesome. And I have to say, when I started getting on LinkedIn is when I've always been a huge proponent of humanity in the workplace, but I've also worked for several different organizations that there has been no humanity in the workplace,
Yeah.
which is unfortunate. And I find myself getting very frustrated with that fact. And the longer I have been at different companies, the more I get frustrated, and I try and make a difference. And unless you have management on board, there's nothing you can do to change that. And I mean, you can change your attitude and you can change the way you talk and act and be around different people in the workforce. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, but I just sometimes it can be frustrating because you see it and you're like, why don't you just wake up? You have amazing people here. Let them tap into their God given abilities. Like, I had a review come out and I said, there's, my passion is people. I'm a bookkeeper by trade and I hate it. I'm going to flat out admit it. And I've been in it for 25 years and it's time for a change. And that's why I'm doing this. And
Yeah.
for for those of you that are on here tonight that have a business that want to have your business go to a next level, um, I'm just throwing it out there. And this isn't a sales pitch, but if anybody wants to learn more about sponsorships, definitely let me know, because if we're trying to get, we're trying to help other businesses grow on here too, on the unstoppable overcomers. So it's just, if you want more information about that, let me know. But it's just, I just want to help people in every capacity, whether that be business, whether that be personal, whether that be whatever. I want to see people grow and succeed. I'm tired of people being squashed down like little bugs and made to feel like they're not worth anything.
Yep.
And I see that a lot and it bugs the hell out of me. Sorry.
No pun intended.
No, yeah, exactly. I didn't even realize I
You're,
did
you're
that.
doing jokes and
See,
you don't
it
even
just
know
comes
it.
out. I have no idea. I had no idea I was going to go on that tangent either. It just came out. On
Pretty
this, oh
brilliant.
my god, it needed to be said, I guess.
You're right. You're right. And it's sad to sometimes see the survival of the fittest in company settings. It gets so I had the pleasure of working in very great companies, but I also have been exposed to environments where it's so super competitive that you just lose the humanness in people. It's like, who are these people? I mean, they're not even people anymore. It's just the way they think becomes so ingrained in just performance and numbers and just the courtesy of just being human and asking someone how they are, or that goes out the window. So it's sad. I get it. I mean, businesses have to make their money, and I get it, but that doesn't mean you lose a human in the making. I mean, it's humans. It's the inclusion. It's the diversity of thought, of mind. It's what makes products and businesses stand out. So it's a very tricky scenario, that of leadership and making sure that as you grow bigger, that you continue to focus on the heartbeat, which is really the people.
Exactly. Exactly. And my biggest thing is, if you treat the janitor any different than you treat the CEO of the company, that's on you. That is not on them.
No.
And it really infuriates me when people, well, if you don't have a PhD or if you don't have a master's degree at the university of whatever, then you basically should be sweeping floors. And that just bothers the hell out of me. And there have been several instances in different places that I've worked that if they did not have a university degree, but had the experience from a previous job, they would not hire them because they didn't have the university degree. But yet the person in charge of that department said, no, I want the person without the university degree, and they still refused to hire them. I'm like, you guys are ridiculous. Totally ridiculous.
Yeah, I know many have been and seen those situations, unfortunately, as well. And I think it's all just about how a lot of humans are wired to check the box on things. If we don't have, I mean, rules are great. I'm all for rules and things like that and structure, but sometimes we get so status quo and stuck in boxes that we forget to think for ourselves, that we forget to see that there is worth outside of this box, or this box of qualifications that I'm comparing a person to. There's worthiness that is beyond this, and it's crazy. And I think that's what our brains do. I mean, if we don't have something to give sense to something, I mean, just think of when there's a change and people don't know what's coming up, we assume the worst, or we start analyzing things and putting things in boxes of how it should look and what we should do next. Unless we're giving a clear structure, then the brain focuses on the structure. But if we don't have a structure, you don't know how to react. So that's why I think, with all these processes, we're used to in society say, well, if you have this sort of degree, and then if you get your master's, and if you get this, and you would be qualified to do that. But going against the status quo on things like that, there's very, very few people that are willing to do that. And that takes courage. And I don't think titles, I don't think anything defines a person. What defines a person is their heartbeat. And that's it. So I totally agree with you. It's very frustrating to me too.
Sorry, didn't mean to go off on that tangent, but I don't know.
And I went off with you.
I saw the spark and we fanned the flame. There we go.
Yeah.
Melody would love to connect to you about the Melody, do you want the link to Dare to Be? My internet.
I don't know if it's me.
Are you back?
I'm here.
All right. We're having a storm here in Canada. It's rainy, wet, and cold, and it's been this way all day. So if you could put the link, let me know. Beacon might be a platform if he's interested. I have no idea what that is. You know what Beacon is?
No, I've never heard of that.
Laura, we're going to have to talk about that one too. Gaga. She's gaga over it.
Oh, the Tuesday night thing, the Dare to Be. So it's, if you go on Twitter, it's that 7 p.m. Central every Tuesday. So if you go 7 p.m. Central, search on Twitter, search hashtag Dare to Be. It will take you straight to the chat. That's all you have to do.
Perfect. Perfect. If it wasn't my anniversary tomorrow night, I would get on tomorrow night.
Oh,
but I gotta put that in my calendar to check that out.
Yeah,
I
no,
definitely want to be
anytime. We're always there.
Yes, we 2 years married tomorrow.
Nice.
We survived an entire marriage in a pandemic.
Congratulations.
Thanks.
That's pretty cool.
It's had its challenges, but we still talk to each other. Oh, I love this. Yes, exactly. Love that, Laura.
Thanks, Laura.
Thank you.
You're awesome.
Yes. Perfect. We're in the Matrix. Look at that, Andrea. We're in the Matrix.
Wow. Very cool.
Very cool.
Would love to have you, Melody.
Yes. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Wow, this has been such a rich evening, rich show tonight. I just want to thank our incredible viewers here, because I mean, thank you. It's okay. I thought I hit the thanks. Yes. 2 years married, 4.5 years together. It's been quite the journey. And I said before we got married, the stuff that we had actually went through, if we can survive pre-marriage, we'll survive marriage. And then in marriage, it's just grown.
Survived a lot the past 2 years.
I'm just like, oh, wow. What doesn't kill you make you stronger? My uncle used to have two sayings. What doesn't kill you make you stronger, and carb de num. So it's really weird that showed up on here tonight with Dr. Laura. Because when I saw that, I got goosebumps because he's the only one I know of. He actually had that on his resume before he passed away. He was a teacher in Taiwan, teaching English. And so I have some of his old stuff laying around somewhere. And that was on there. So to see that gave me goosebumps.
Wow.
Wow. This has been an interesting day. I will say that.
Yeah. Well, see, there's no mistake in what words we're meant to hear. So trust it.
Exactly. That means I got angels everywhere.
That's right.
Totally taking it as that. Awesome. Wow. Thanks again to our amazing viewers. And Andrea, is there any last words? Because we're getting ready to close up here. See, this is what happens. Like the hour just goes by so quickly, especially when I have such an amazing guest such as yourself.
Oh, no, it's such a fun time and pleasure to always do anything for you, Dorothy. You're an inspiration, and I'm glad our paths crossed. And I'm really proud of you. You're kicking butt with this show 30. I can't wait to see 30 more. And I know you have much more to go and come with surprising changes and exciting changes. So I can't wait to see what that's all about.
Yes. So for what Andrea is talking about is in a November 15th. There's some exciting things happening. I can't go into a lot of detail just yet. But
sorry, did I mess it up?
No, that's okay. That's okay. There is going to be some exciting changes. The show format's going to change a little bit. We're adding some fun dementals. And that's a hint. So watch for that. We're also extending the show a little bit. And I'm excited because we are going to have a co-host, and so more to share about that in the coming weeks. It's definitely exciting. I mean, it's exciting when I had this. I call this my baby. my vision. I never in a million years thought that I would be having my own show. And I don't know. It's just something this year that has brought this out that says no. Like I want to be the next Oprah Winfrey. We're going to make this a TV show, and we are going to help millions of people not only overcome their obstacles, but to have fun. Because since I hit 40, it's like fun's the new word. Um, so it's like I didn't have lots of fun growing up, so now I'm making time for it. So now the next 40 years of my life are going to be nothing but fun, and so hopefully my husband's on board for that.
Yes, sounds great. Can't wait to
But
see you on the TV, Dorothy.
I know, thank you. And then we'll have our own network, you know.
Yeah,
So
I like how you're thinking. Yeah.
yeah, like the sky's the limit, and that's just not for me. That's for everybody. So if you think, oh, I could never do that, or ask Tim Sean, because Tim Sean was my the guy that helped me with the live streaming. I took one of his courses, Survive and Rise, and I was deathly afraid. Like I had been doing going live every day on my Facebook page because I had a coach that told me to do that. So by going with that, I was headed to do like be somebody's virtual assistant, and I went from that to this.
Wow. I'm glad
Right?
you did.
I'm just like, you never know. God knows, and God's going to steer
That's
you.
right.
You think you're going in this direction. He goes, oh, wait a minute. No, you're going
That's
this
right.
way. So watch for the signs, listen for the signs. Definitely, they're everywhere.
And mainly trust it. You may not know where it's taking you, but trust it.
Exactly. And you might thinking, oh God, girl, that is not going to happen. And, you know, it changes. Tim is amazing. Tim
Yeah.
was on at the beginning of the show. He had to go be with his family, and he's got some exciting news. I hear he's going to start um, something. Well, his announcement will be Friday. He won't tell me either. I know a little bit, but he won't tell me at all.
Okay, now I don't feel bad.
Yeah, he's going to be on Elizabeth's show, the kindness girl.
I saw, yeah. I don't
Yeah.
know how to pronounce her last name. That
Yes.
NG, yeah. She's
Yeah.
awesome. Yes.
I didn't want to. I don't want to massacre her last name, but I'm really bad with last names on some people. So I still want to be friends with everybody. So I'm not gonna.
I know exactly. She's great. She's been on the rally as well. She's awesome.
Yes. Yes. Let the universe lead you.
Yes, Melody, agree.
Absolutely amazing. Alrighty. So, any last words, Andrea, before we wrap this show up tonight?
I mean, you can't beat Melody's last words. Let the universe lead you.
Exactly.
And when it leads you, listen, become aware of it, and just believe and trust. It always knows.
Exactly. And with that, hopefully you all have an amazing evening. God bless you all, and we'll see you back here next Monday night. And it's going to be more wild and fun because each show is more wild.
Thank you so much, Dorothy.
Thank you.